we are here to talk about, discuss, and also lead you through the fundamentals of dance. Michael has been on before, and I believe you were doing improv then as well. Now, Michael and I have worked together on Cambridge television, doing hip hop, but today he's kind of pressed me into doing something more, a little bit outside of what I usually do, which is improv. And I've agreed to do it, so we have this lovely music. But I wanted to discuss some things about improv and the perception of people when they walk into dance. And I've got some notes. I'm just going to reach back here and pick them up so I can be accurate on what I wanted to talk about. Now, Michael and I were talking about his experience in studying improv, and one of the things he had said to me was that he was told to feel the movements, to feel the emotion each move, and then move from your emotion. Is that right?
Something like that.
Something like that. Good enough?
Yep.
And I thought about that for about a week, and I realized that that's really not an accurate way or a good way to move forward when you're learning to dance, because oftentimes a person doesn't realize the emotions that they're experiencing, and they certainly don't know, or more often than not, they don't know how to express that with the body, lacking, what did I call it, a body language.
Yes.
Which means the ability to express themselves with their bodies. Now, we do this all the time when we're talking. I don't know, something like 80% of language is nonverbal, something like that. So when we tell somebody that we want them to feel the movement, we're presuming a few things, and you don't really want to presume, number one, that the person is in touch with their feelings or emotions. Oftentimes people aren't. Just like I had one student who said they didn't have a clue they had legs until they came to work with me. Could you imagine, not you, but could you imagine somebody say that they don't have a sense of their legs?
Yes.
I thought that was incredible.
I didn't know I had hips until someone said, "Move your hips."
Move your hips.
And it took a while.
Mm-hmm. And number two, a person is in touch with and understands and has access to different emotions. So a person has to be able to understand different emotions. And oftentimes we go through life with only one or two emotions that we're expressing just to get through life. So that's something you really want to look at if you want to start to study dance. Understand the dynamic between sound and movement and expressing it. Now, this is another thing that's kind of tough, because if you've lived your life in front of a computer or with parents that say sit still, you've never really opened up your body. You never really have stretched out and relaxed. You've never been allowed to. And understands the dynamic between lyrics and movement, what emotions are predominant in your life. So I'm going to put this down.
Could you just tell me the third one again?
That last one?
No, the one before that.
Okay. Understands the dynamics between sound and movement and expressing it.
So I'm talking now, that's sound, right? And I moved when I did that.
And that's right.
Right, so but what does it mean understand that? I just go naturally.
Well, when you're doing it this way, it's easy, but when you're listening to the music, that's sound. How you behave and how you react to that is what I'm talking about.
Wow, that's very...
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like when you're
I
having
can naturally respond to the sound.
and people always naturally respond to the sound.
But I don't pay too much attention to it. You listen a little more carefully to what it is.
And therein lies the rub. Most people are not listening to the music.
As soon as I listen to music, I might lose whatever feeling
Exactly.
I have. So it's challenging.
And that happens. I mean,
Yes.
It's understandable. So there are really two ways of dancing. One of them is dancing to the music, and the other one is dancing to the lyrics, or expressing what the lyrics are saying. Now, we've chosen to work with water, and that's the main element we're working with today. So that's, in the opening credits, that's really what we're looking to do, is really kind of get a nice watery sense of things. When we're talking about improv, the beat isn't really all that important, which was a very tough transition for me, because I was raised in Latin music and R&B, so the beat is everything for me. But since we are doing improv today, this is what we're going to look at. Not really so much working with the beat as so much expressing the opening and closing of the body, the elongation or the extensions of the body, and also this kind of watery movement, continuity in movement. So Michael and I will begin. And here we go. We're going to start with a very simple movement. And if you listen to the music, you can see that it's kind of contracting. So we're going to start with a contracted position. And you can hear it's getting louder, so we're going to begin to move left and right to express the plucking of the heart. And as it gets bigger and wilder, we begin to express ourselves even more, opening the arms. And we're going to allow the head to rock with that. And slowly the hands are going to come together to one side. Now, as if we're pushing a refrigerator, we're going to lean into that and just open up with one side. I'm actually going to go on one tiptoe and really stretch out. The other hand is going to come right below the belly button, and then your right shoulder, my left, is going to go up to express the next movement. And the other shoulder is going to go down. Good. One side, now the other. And we're really looking for continuity here. Nice circle in this hand here. And when the shoulder comes up, this hand is going to trigger it. That shoulder is going to trigger that hand to come down. And we begin the next movement up. I'm going to try to keep that arm elongated, nice and long. Right? And really reach out. Very nice. This other hand's going to come over. And there goes that flex. And as you can see, the music's playing. And it's a very watery song, so we don't have to hit the beats. Don't have to hit the beats. We're expressing that watery quality of that harp. And water, what to do, it dives, and it rises, and it flows. And it reaches out and reaches down. So Michael, you're doing very well. We're going to bring our hands down for a moment. And Michael and I actually did work with this a little bit before we started. So he got a chance to get a feeling of that watery movement. And one of the things I said was, what was it? I said to you that you wanted to be present with the entire movement. Really, kind of, it's a sensual experience. So you want to experience the entire movement all the way into the fingertips, and then as if you're sending energy out into the universe, you're going to just use that intention to send it out. And as you drag in, it's an intention to bring it in. So again, you can see there's the tide going out, and the tide going in.
Bringing in universe energy?
Yeah, that's what I like to say.
Oh my.
Right, we're sending out energy, and then drawing in universal energy, or energy from the universe, moving on to the other side. And just like the yin-yang symbol, as one empties, the other one fills. And we really want to watch those shoulders now and that movement in the body. See how I lean in? There's that watery quality.
It's a way of praying.
Yeah, well, in ancient times, most religions had some movement in them.
And this particular movement does it, right? This particular movement opens.
Oh, yes.
If I don't do if I do
right,
this,
you mean with the
I
hand?
Get way less.
Right.
The universe doesn't want to join me.
Well, it's because you're cutting your cutting your attention.
Hi,
yeah, absolutely.
Hi.
You have to reach for it.
Hi, Somerville universe.
You have to reach for the universe, or it won't come. All right, so let's look at that one more time. Let's revisit that. So we're going to lift that one shoulder up, leave that hand loose, and we're going to lean into it. Your weight's going to be in the opposite hand, opposite leg.
Oh.
And as we shift, there's going to be a swell in the body and in the hand And now the other side comes up. We're gonna swell into that. And as this empties, this fills, reaching up to the sky, up to heaven. Lean and the shoulder comes up. Good.
Yes, I get more.
And swell. Nice round movement at the bottom here, right. So when you're separating, it's like a ball growing and this one is a ball deflating. Right, and open up the chest, straighten out the body,
Wow.
elongate
Heart.
the head,
Right
very
to the motion
nice.
of my heart. Oh, wow.
And other shoulder comes up, we lean and
So
come
we
in.
expect Somerville to be way more loving after the show.
We should hope
And
so.
we're hoping we're.
We should hope so.
And we will be, maybe, yes.
Well, we're always loving.
Well, no, I mean, thank you very much. You might be. I need all the help I can get. You are one of the chief helpers.
Thank you, thank you. All right, so we've explored this left and right motion, and we really, you can almost see the watery quality with the shoulders going back and forth, and certainly this is very watery. But we want to translate that upper body movement into the lower body,
Good.
into the torso.
Good.
So without the hands, what we're going to do is we're just going to lift this shoulder over, and we're going to lean into it, and then kind of snake your way through. Other side, and snake your way through.
What do you mean by snake your way
The
through?
body's kind of snaky.
It's like,
Yeah, perfect.
also it's like a wave.
Yes, it's a wave, and you're coming in through here, coming out the other way,
Yes.
and lift. So you kind of, the snakiness is this kind of separation of the bones when you lift, and draw that up. So the ribs are kind of separated already. See?
So what is this a prayer for or doing for us?
A prayer for, well, I'm going to leave that to
My heart
you.
gets into it in a different way.
Well, it's interesting because when you do movements like this, it actually does stimulate
Yes.
and massage the heart and lungs. And oftentimes when we go to a dance class, they're just looking at the movements. But fortunately,
Also, this might help my
it,
hoarse voice.
it will
This
help.
is
It should help your hoarse
my
voice.
lungs.
It massages the heart and
Wow.
lungs. And because I studied Eastern and Western medicine, I was able to
So
understand
these are
that.
healing moves. too,
Everything you do
hugely.
can be a healing
Yes.
move, especially when you start to articulate the shoulders and the ribs
They're
and the
very
hips.
nice. They must be very happy for me to pay attention to them.
They are. I can see. Can you
Lord.
hear them going? Oh, thank
Lord,
God!
Yes, finally.
All right, so let's move on to the next motion.
Yeah.
As I said, we're going to do this kind of back and forth. One shoulder goes up, the other one, and the one that comes up is the one that's going to draw you over to that other leg. See that? Nice.
Oh, I love it.
All right, you got that pretty good, Michael.
Wow, this is really wonderful.
Do you have any questions for me?
So if I or other people want to get in touch with you on the net, what is your
Oh, just
address?
Q Unlimited at yahoo.com.
That's very easy.
Very easy.
Q?
All together, QUE Unlimited
At
at
yahoo.com. I
yahoo.com.
feel the student that way. With questions, Q.
Well, one of the things that happened when Michael and I were talking was he asked me if I had ever formally studied improv, and I don't think anybody really ever formally studies improv.
I have, yes.
Oh, okay, well,
Many
he has.
classes. Diana Giordella.
But for me,
Great teacher.
the thing that was the thing that brought me into it was Yuan Ming Qigong, which is a lot like dancing. So when I look at movement, I look at it through that modality of healing.
What was that called?
Yuan Ming Qigong.
Oh, Qigong. And what is Qigong for those of us? who-
Oh, Qigong is a big umbrella with a whole bunch of things
Studying
underneath it, but most people recognize Qigong as soft movements like this. But when you take it to the extreme medicinal extent, you work with the 5 elements, which is why we're working with water today, and we're moving into the water season in Chinese medicine.
Oh, my.
So we're actually building up our kidneys and our bladder as we do these movements. So, shall we move on to some forward and back movements?
Yes.
Okay, so let's
Although
start.
I could do this for the rest of the show, but lucky people.
Yeah, but then we can show off everything we've done already, right?
Well,
Okay,
speak for
so-
yourself, but-
All right, so we're going to be moving left and right now, and now stepping forward, using water, running forward, and we're only going to do forward. We're not going to be walking backwards for this
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Maybe not today. So, it's gonna be a very simple, and you'll see this a lot in Renaissance dance. Unfortunately, Michael has taken me to, what is it, sacred dancing?
Sacred circle dancing.
Circle dancing.
Thursday
So-
at 7:45, every other week, every other Thursday.
Where?
Unitarian Church in Harvard Square.
All right. Well, the beauty of that was that I got to take all of this and take it to those
Sacred circle.
gatherings.
Yes.
Yeah, and it seems to be quite a hit.
Yes, I love playing.
All right, so let's look at something that again you'll see in a lot of chamber dance or Renaissance dance, and it's just kind of movement back and forth. Like so, you might also see it a little bit in dance, and you'll see that my foot actually turns out. And I've never studied ballet, but maybe this is fourth position. I'm not sure. The most important thing that we're looking at right now is, of course, keeping your balance as you do this, but also this kind of movement again, that watery movement. That long extension, and then a step forward as you drop down. And again, you've got this nice, and you're always looking to elongate that spine, right?
You say so.
I say so.
I guess I am looking forward to doing that now. I need the words.
So there's this drop, and then a rising up, and here we are with our left foot in front of us, and rather than step backwards, what we're going to do is we're going to begin to swing the arms down just as before and turn on our heels. It's a tough one, I know it is.
No, okay, I look at it.
And step forward, which is your back, the television audience.
Yes.
Off to the left. Drop. And swing a nice big extension upward, straighten out the spine.
Universe. Whoops. Forgot my spine
Step
universe.
forward. Step forward with the left leg.
Step forward to the left, like this.
And now we're going to swing to the left.
Yes.
And one more step before we come off this carpet. And we're going to swing those arms around. Swing those arms back to your left. And again, turn
Oh,
on
much
the
better than
heels.
wow. Is that better
Right,
that
very
time?
nice. Step forward. And open. Nice big extension.
Oh yes, I forget these things. Yes. Oops.
Step forward and open.
Open
Now,
into the universe again. Hi, universe.
now, Michael, when you step forward,
Yes.
come back here with me.
Yes.
You want to try to, and this is something that everybody wants to try to do, is try to get everything to start and end at the same time. I know, and it's a challenge.
Yes.
I mean, if you're doing improv, it's probably not that big a deal, but it does make it look a lot prettier.
Yes.
So when I begin my step, my hands and arms are moving
with this,
together.
as you step.
Yes.
Yes.
So see, they come, started together, and when I finish, everything ends together. And step forward. Right foot forward.
Right foot forward. Oh, I see. Yes.
And switch over, nice. Step forward. Okay, straighten up.
Whoops. Oh, yes.
Really have to watch that spine.
Yes.
Now as we swing those hands down.
I hope everybody's watching who's doing this. We have a way of knowing now in this new NSA age.
So we bring our hands down, swing them down.
Yes.
Come on, follow.
Yep.
Straighten up.
Whoops.
There's never any hunching.
Yep.
We're going to turn that left foot
Boy,
and then that
never
right.
yes.
And that's right, no hunching. We're not
Whoa.
detectives.
Woo.
And step forward. And rise. Your left foot should be forward now. And step. And open. Straighten up. And we're going to swing those hands down. And turn. And let's bring it
Wow.
together. How was that for you?
It was great. As soon as I started trying to make jokes, I lost it. So
Well, yeah, you have to.
I went too much into my head.
Well, that's
and lost
that's
it.
what I've said is,
Yes.
it's important to stay focused. You can't
Yes.
really, if you're going to make your improv dance look good and feel good, you really, at first you're not going to be able to interact with people very much because you really want to get that sensuality out of it, that feeling that feeling of sensing every single bone, every single muscle, every single digit kind of move. Once you've gotten to that point, then you can go ahead and try to express that with another person.
Yes.
And we haven't even gotten into bending and folding, and we're not going to go into tumbling at all. Okay?
good.
So, let's try that one more time, the stepping.
Okay.
We're going to use the same exact thing we did before. And then we're going to try this one-handed thing. Ready? So we're going to step forward with our right foot. Hands are going to be to our left. And open. No hunching. Open. Good. Open. Yeah, this position with the feet is very, very difficult. So I'm impressed you can do it even with the short time that we work together. Now as the hands go down, you're going to bend. Left foot is going to come turning. Right foot, and those hands are going to go all the way to the right. And step and bend. Because water not only goes left and right, it goes up and down. And step. You want to watch the continuity, keep the speeds the same. A nice steady motion. And those hands are going to go to the right as we turn around again. Wow, my chi must be very strong.
Wow. Wow.
All right, so, and you're standing straighter.
Thank you.
Do you feel that? You feel like you're more erect now?
Yes.
You look it.
Well,
Okay, so that was kind of a complicated move.
Yeah.
Let's make it a little simpler.
good.
Okay? So that one of the funny things about learning to dance and dance in general is you can only have a few steps to your repertoire, but if you mix it in well and don't do anything too closely together or too repetitious and just mix it up, it looks like you know so much more. So with that goal in mind, let's move on to another movement with the arms that still falls in the same vein. All right, so we're going to step forward. And this right, we're going to step with our right, and that right hand is going to come right in front of us. Stretch all the way up in front of you. Right, you're going for your third eye, so to speak.
Oh, my.
And then push that way back to get that pec to open up. And we're going to drop for balance. Step forward and elongate. Right up in front of you. Don't let it go off to the side. Once you let it go to the side, you lose that whole.
Yes, I can feel it.
Yeah, you lose that whole feeling in the abs, and in the chest. Drop down. Step forward. Come on, one more time.
Oh,
Step.
yes.
There we go.
Yep.
And right in front of you, right at your center line,
Oh, I see. Wow.
right up here.
Wow.
I like the hands. The hands are working.
Yes.
And when it goes down as far back as you can.
Wow.
You feel that?
Yes.
Now that's exercise.
Yes.
Right? It's a nice stretch.
Yes.
It's great for balance, and we're going to step forward again with the left leg. The left hand's going to come up. Really elongate that spine, tell that spine to
Wow.
open up, and keep it as close to your center line as you can. It's going to force that chest open, and let's step back. How's that feel for you? It opens up the heart. It
Yes,
really
it
does.
really is quite something when I pay attention to doing it the way you're suggesting.
The way I'm suggesting. Well, it's still it can still be very, very pretty when you're just doing it flat out like that. But if you were watching Michael, when he got it just right, it really does have an effect on
Whoa.
the people watching,
Wow.
even, you know.
Let alone me.
Well, not just on the dancer, but also
Yes.
the people watching. Oftentimes people think that dancing is all about what you're experiencing, but it's not just about you. That's why we go to ballets and to all different types of dances to watch, for the effect it has on us. So now I'm going to slip in my little metaphysical thing. So you should really watch how you stand, how you sit, the tone of your voice, not just because it'll help you and your health, mental, physical, and spiritual, but also the effect it has on those people around you. After all, we are made of what, 80%, 85% water? Right? So let's try that very simple, complicated movement one more time, shall we? All right, so we're going to step forward with that right foot. Again, I've got that foot turned out. And we're going to open up right in front, not off to the
Oh,
side.
yes.
Right,
Oh, my.
go right for your belly button.
Yes, belly button and heart.
But you don't want to bend your knee, your elbow.
No, I don't.
You want to keep that nice and big.
Wow.
Lovely, and really, really stretch up with that. Nice, there you go. And now the body's gonna come down and relax. Look at, even your face has changed. You see how you kind of go into that Zen mode when you get it right? It really is a kind of a stillness that takes, it literally stills the heart. Not stops it, it stills it. So here we go. Let's go with our left leg this time because we've done the right leg to death. We're gonna step forward with that left, go right for our belly button. Come right up, nice big stretch. And as it goes back, palm is gonna be up. We're gonna go down, take our next step. And if I know you can't see me, there's no monitor over there, but once you start to bring this hand down, that left hand down, you're gonna drop and continue that movement. And up we go. So there really is not much stopping here, not much space. Right, complete that right hand and step forward with the left and don't bend the body, keep the body straight.
Wow.
Nice and straight, yep. And I don't see you reaching for the universe. Fingertips,
Whoa.
there you go.
My God.
There you go, and
Wow.
down we go. And step forward. And reaching for heaven and step back.
Wow.
It feels so good, it looks like you don't even want to stop.
No,
It's very trance-like.
Well, I would love to stop and just take it all in. Well, fortunately, everyone's doing it in Somerville watching, so this is a
We can only
shared
hope.
experience.
Look, this is the great thing about joining us on the show today is that, again, even if you don't have music, if you do these, it really has really tremendous health benefits. Now, I work with the seniors in Watertown, Concord, and Arlington, and all these philosophies are brought into those classes. And many of the seniors have come to me and said that they're amazed at how their bodies are transforming. So dance is a lot more than what we make of it. It really is a very healing.
I can feel it now.
Yeah, if done correctly, when you're really
Yes,
when
we
you're
have this
really
on-
looking to a long
Thanks to Dead Air Live, we have this on tape.
when you're dancing, you're really looking to articulate the body and get everything to open and to close and loosen and stretch. Done this way, it's a very healing thing. My mother was in a wheelchair. She had both her legs taken from diabetes, and she used to do this, and her health was pretty good, given that she was in a wheelchair.
Yes.
All right, so let's try that one more time. The same exact thing, except we're going to do that little spin around and give our back to the camera. We're very sorry. So we're going to start with that left leg, or left foot. We're going to step forward and reach. Now, Michael, I'd like you to watch this for 1 second.
Yes, I'd love to watch you for more. Yes,
Notice how when I step forward, there's this contraction.
yes.
And then when I finally get into the step, there's this expansion. Now you can't really see this other hand. That other hand is actually pushing down.
Oh, my.
And then there's a contraction and an expansion. And again, very softly, this hand is pushing down. So now I've got that opposing forces, which actually kind of starts to work on the rhomboids and starts to put the spine back in place. All right, shall we try?
We can try.
Okay.
It's a lot here going on.
Well, unfortunately, we had an hour or so to play with, so I'm pushing the envelope on camera.
Thank you.
So step forward, left foot, left hand, right at your center line, right in front of your belly button.
Yes.
Follow that center line all the way up. And bring it back. As this is going back, finish that all the way down, that left hand, bring it down. Good. See, what you tend to do is you stay there. You don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that. No, I want to keep moving.
you want to finish the movement. It's
and finish.
water.
Keep the flow.
That's right, keep the flow. So let's try that again.
Yes,
Ready
okay,
for the
great.
left leg?
Yes.
Left leg, and open. And don't obstruct the water. Let it go
Yes, let it
down.
flow.
And down we
And
go.
then another move.
And step. Very nice.
Wow. I almost
Make
forgot
sure
the
it's at the
center
center
line.
line.
Yes, forgot that part of it, but down,
And down,
center line,
and
up, and
now
down, and center line, up. We're dancing with God, yes.
For the most part.
Yes.
I mean, all dance is dancing with God.
Yes.
Or gods, because hip hop is, it's kind of, you know, I consider those kind of African war rhythms, which is why people go so nuts.
Oh.
If you've ever done African dance, you'll know what I
Yes,
mean.
a
It's
little bit.
very, very,
Yep.
very active. So, let's go back to the front here where we ended, so that we can do that turnaround. And we've come up, that left hand has been up. Left foot forward, please.
Left foot,
Mhm.
oh, left foot forward, yes. And left, like
And
this.
now that left hand is going to complete its
Whoops.
journey. Careful.
Left hand's gonna
Complete its journey down.
down, and then the
And
right
that
hand's.
that right hand is going to come up.
Yes.
But we're going to turn. And it's going to go back. Don't bend the body. And bring it down.
Yes.
Step forward.
Whoop.
And right up. Oh, nice job. You must have studied martial arts.
Yes, that's the,
And step forward.
is this right? Yes.
That's correct. Finish the movement. And up we go. And one last time, step forward. And up we go. Now that right hand is going to come up once you finish your flow.
Yes.
And that's where we're going to do our turnaround. We're going to turn around.
Wow. And keep the flow going if we wanted to.
We could
Yes.
continue going back and forth. Now, to kind of further illustrate, you know, the importance of dance not just for health, but if you're a martial artist, that move,
Yep.
and I teach martial arts, that move is very important if somebody's attack is coming at you from behind. Oftentimes we're startled and we do this. That's not good. I had actually trained somebody to do that very step we did, and one of his friends tried to surprise him from behind, and he did this and he went flying. So there are stories of Qigong masters that never studied martial arts, that were just practicing Qigong, that have actually done some incredible things when pressed into a martial. So even dance, you know, I mean, Jean-Claude Van Damme is actually a ballet dancer. Who knew? And he did martial arts movies. Okay, so let's start to look at how we can integrate the two to make it look like we're doing a lot more than we actually are. Okay? So we've done left and right in a big way. We're going to try this in a smaller way. Now, done the way we've done it, it's Renaissance. Done more aggressively, it's African dance. We're not going to do the aggressive one today. So,
I don't mind if you want.
oh, we need the right music for
Okay.
that. Okay, so we're going to step forward using that first motion. Make sure you elongate. And drop. And elongate. And step and drop. And elongate. And step and drop. Okay, so now that right foot is going to come forward. Come forward, drop the left hand, and the right hand is going to come up the center line and back. And I think we've run out of room, and we're going to run out of being inside with the finish the motion.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Let's step back one more time. Okay, so we're going to start with two hands and then go to one hand. And here we go. One. And nice big, big, big. Come on, straighten out that spine.
Yes.
Take your next step. Nice big, straighten out that spine. You're doing
Wow.
pretty good with the arms.
Yes. Whoops.
And this should be
Oh,
here.
yeah. Oh, jeez. It matters, too.
The hands are going to go down. And now when we step forward, that right hand is going to come with that right foot, and up it goes. And it elongates back, and down, forward, and open, and back. Finish the movement.
Oops.
Really, the ceiling's not going to fall. You don't
Yes,
have to
yes.
hold it up.
Thank you. I get very impressed with myself.
It is very pretty. You should be. So those were only 4 movements,
Yes.
right? And two of each were the same.
Yeah.
But did it feel like you were doing a lot more than just 2 movements?
I would actually, it was a lot.
It was a
Yeah.
lot for you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to making these a little smaller. Okay, you'll also find this movement done quickly in Charleston, which I incorporate into my classes with the seniors. They love that. Well, they grew up with it. All right, so let's look forward and let's look at it as kind of like a Charleston. So we're gonna just come forward, not big. 2,
Wow.
3,
My.
4, 5,
Oops.
and bring it back.
Okay,
One more time.
I have to stop getting so impressed. Just stay with the.
Start with the right foot.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very nice. Now, try not to make the fingers stiff. Again, if you watch my hand.
Wouldn't it be nice to have, when you go dancing, to have Q with you to give you?
Well, you know, you've been pushing me to go to Wednesday night,
Yes.
so you might be able to come to Dance Freedom
Have
and
you be
see
my
me
coach.
there.
Have you
I'll be your coach.
Coach.
You're gonna have everybody following me, is that it?
No, just watch the Michael. I can love to trade you for that.
Oh,
Yes.
talking about a trade now. I like it. Okay, so that was pretty simple. Now let's move on to taking it to a dance with a beat, or going into a club. If you raise your hands, right foot forward, the hands go right, left. Nope, there go. They stay up. Right. No, you're fine. Left. Come on, no step. Take your step. You're just gonna wave left and right. That's all. I will show you.
Yes.
Okay. Simple. Boom, 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 boom.
When he says simple, it's simple for
Well,
him.
let's.
That's why I'm here. Everyone can feel better in Somerville because they can get this baby.
I know some people can't dance at all, so they may
Yes.
not feel better
Oh, well,
watching you.
yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do that right foot forward, hands swing to the right.
Yes.
Now you're just going left and right up high.
Yes.
The left foot comes forward, the hands go to the, nope, don't drop
No?
that hand.
Oh, they stay high. Okay.
Up, you're waving.
Oh, I see.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
So, right,
Right.
left,
Right. Whoops.
left,
Love it.
right,
Yes.
left.
Left.
Very simple.
Yes.
You're still doing the funky little
Wow.
circle thing, which is fine.
Yes,
It still looks pretty.
We can do it all in many places.
In many places, exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right. Right, like that, even less. Yes.
Very simple.
Well,
you
or
look good
one-
doing
or
it.
one heart, yes, or one.
Or one.
Yes.
Now let's look at that chest one more time and that
Ah.
heart. Yeah, and lubricating that heart and the lungs one more time. And we're going to look at an African dance move.
Okay.
It's very simple. We're just going to move our arms like so. Okay, now the trick is don't move your arms.
So you move your body?
You move your shoulders, yes.
Wow, does that feel? Now all of these things do different things to you.
They do. They have and you'll get different emotions
So it's
from them.
different than dancing from your feelings. You do the movements and you get feelings from the movement.
You get feelings from the
And
movement,
then
but
you
the
put those
move.
feelings into the movement you're getting.
Correct, but
Yeah.
but also you can take your feelings and once you start to recognize what you feel with each movement, then you can do what you were told to do, which is now you can take your emotions
And put it into the
apply
dance.
and put it into because now you have
Wow.
a language the
Yes.
body understands,
Fine.
right? When somebody's ecstatic, if they've never done this, they're gonna go, I'm ecstatic. It doesn't look like they're ecstatic, right? Or a big open move is, oh my God, the world is,
Well, I can go ecstatic but not be paying attention. Just woo, woo. And that's
Well,
a
that's
very
reckless
small-
abandon,
Yes,
sort of, right?
Yes, but this way
No, I'm
it's-
talking about reaching
this
out
way
for
it's
the
a
universe.
Way
Yeah.
different.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
reaching out and touching everything around you, so to speak. Okay, so we've done the low, we've done the high.
Yes.
We haven't done anything left and right fully. We're gonna stay away from that today. But let's review a little bit, okay? So why don't we start where we began,
Mhm.
and let's go right to this funky little center line. And how did we start? We started very simply by moving left and right. And watching, make sure that this comes down, right? And believe it or not, And once again, to make an example of all movement can be applied to many different things, this is actually a movement in Tai Chi called roll back. But you'll see it in dance. And in this case, I encourage you to bend. So bend in the direction you're going to the side. Right, yes.
That's different.
So lean into that other side that you're going towards, and then the hips meet. Good. Start with the shoulder and the hips follow. And shoulder and the hips follow. So we've got that nice, but don't hunch.
Whoops.
Remember, we're not detectives.
So we bend, but we don't hunch.
That's right. Nice big extension. Now we're going to look at the extension of the arm. Really open it up. And down. Now let's make that a little smaller, which is how we got into this mess at the house, right?
Yes.
At your house. I did something, I did this. And you had a difficult time working your way through it.
It's
So
beautiful, though.
we had to accentuate those
Yeah.
shoulders, which is
Yeah.
how we got into this. So why don't we try to do that? Why don't we see if we can get you moving with that?
Might stop the hunch.
Well, it might stop the hunch.
Yeah.
Because you never really want to lock the elbows, and you really want to try to keep them pointing down.
No, I don't really want to do that.
Right.
do I?
If you
No.
keep the elbows pointing down, it stops the
All
traps
these
from
different
activating.
moves feel so better when you do them.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
So here we go. Circle, circle. So it's like you're doing the backstroke, but you're moving from your shoulders, not the arms. And again, watch. See, I'm still moving left and right. I'm still leading with the shoulder. Good. The hands never really drop down though. They stay right about there.
Oh, it feels different.
They're like little small circles. And if you can use those shoulders more and those arms less, that would be great. Good. Let's slow it down. Here we go. Ready? Elbows down, lower, lower. Then you feel how your shoulders just went down?
Yes.
That's where you want to be. You're going to lift that shoulder up, and then lift the other shoulder up, and the other shoulder, and the other shoulder. Shoulder, shoulder. Watch how you articulate your hands, and moving left and right. So when you're moving the right shoulder, move to the right, moving the left, so shift your weight. Shift, good. Shift, but you gotta relax the other shoulder when you're doing it right.
Oh.
Otherwise you wind up
Oh, I
looking
see
like
that.
this.
Oh, I see.
Good. Keep them off to the sides, don't bring them forward. Good. Don't forget your movement left and right. And look at how I'm articulating my hands. Same thing as before. When they go down, they flex the wrists. And when they go up, they relax. Good. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's work.
Well,
How's your upper back feel?
I do feel rather ecstatically relaxed.
Ecstatically relaxed.
And healing in ways I don't, it just feels like I've been given a healing massage. Really.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly right. It is a massage for the organs, really, pretty much. And it still stretches out all of the muscles that you need to be stretched out. And that's the beauty of improv dance, really, is that in improv, it really is an exploration of your body, of its limitations, of its, what's the reverse of limitations?
Unlimited.
Unlimitations. So when you're doing improv, you really want to kind of explore how your shoulders move, how your chest moves, how your hips move, how your legs move, moving left and right, the head, right?
So you're really giving me, as you said, a vocabulary.
A
So
vocabulary.
it's just that I'm feeling great on the dance floor.
Right, no.
There's ways I can say, Q, you're great, but that could get boring after a while. If I say how you're great and use the words that you're teaching me to recognize parts of my body and to articulate them, so if I have a vocabulary in speaking, and that communicates way more to you and to the audience. And so you're trying to teach me and the rest of us, to have a vocabulary in our bodies.
Correct.
And the vocabulary speaks to the people around us, as well as to other forces like the water in us, the air. We haven't gotten to air and
we haven't gotten
fire.
to air, but we haven't gotten
Yeah.
to the other elements.
But I understand, so this vocabulary speaks to our body, the people around us, and the elements in us, really.
That's correct.
Right. So I might be more, I'm not sure it's true, but at least the aim would be to be more flowing in water, which is my blood. We haven't even talked about the blood, and which is the flow in our body.
Right.
See, I can talk with my mouth,
Yeah.
I'm doing it with my
I
body.
Well, are we getting to the goal kind of that you were asked? Remember the first show we did here? You said, I really want what he's got. Or do you feel like we're getting there?
You're teaching me for the first year, teaching someone who did not know there was this kind of body language. Oh my!
But you see why, you can see why when we were talking, and you said to me, well, my teacher told me to feel. I mean, you can see why I went into discussion and I started writing, because you'll hear that a lot from a teacher. Feel the movement. Well, you have to know the movement before you can feel the movement, and you have to know your emotions. And oftentimes,
So how would this work? If I go to dance, we have time? We have 5 minutes. So if I'm going to freestyle dance, yes. If I'm going to freestyle dance, now if we start to dance, I might start doing this now.
and that's fine.
Yes.
But if you're going to go to a dance, it's probably best to start with the arm movements, because this looks kind of freaky on the dance floor by itself. Somebody may walk over and
I'm
ask you if you need a doctor.
Meeting someone and just whatever we're feeling.
Yeah, you just
get
walk
into our
over.
own
You can just, let's
feelings.
say I'm at the dance with you,
Yes.
and I see somebody I really want to dance with, and I walk over and go,
Wow. Okay, I'm touched.
right?
Wow.
They will either join you or
Right,
not.
right.
But in the end, the important thing is
You've had a
you
nice
know,
walk.
you've had a nice walk, but also that you feel good about your approach.
Wow.
I mean, 'cause the
Interesting.
interaction-
Rather than just walking over it.
Right.
That's not offering
Yeah.
anything.
Right.
Wow.
A nice big, and make sure you stretch those arms out, really.
Wow.
You tend to cut them off, and we really want to.
And that cuts off the whole universe.
Yeah,
Bye-bye
and
universe.
I'll show
Bye-bye
it.
love.
And I'll show it to you if I do this.
Yes. No wonder people wouldn't. Yes. We have 2 minutes to go.
Not very
Is that
inviting,
true?
but if I do this,
Yes.
yeah, open it up.
My. Wow.
Notice how the spine goes back and closes, and I still got this opening and closing, and that up and down motion.
Wow.
It's pretty.
Now, what about last minute and a half? Not on the dance floor. Let's say in the world. And we're always moving. In some ways, we're always dancing, as we call it. So, what would if you say hello to someone? How do you just
Somebody I know or don't know.
Both, if we have time.
Oh, hi.
Oh, and you're moving and you're
Oh, absolutely,
dancing. to
hi.
it.
Absolutely.
Oh, right. And
But
the-
notice my shoulders don't come up. It's just the chest expresses love from the heart, or compassion from the heart.
Oh, but
And
you
hi.
can't. But you can't just feel it. Your body needs to
It's
express that.
once you
And if I say I
once-
love you and do this, that doesn't go.
Once you've done it
Yeah.
enough times,
Yeah.
your body, you don't need to do it. But when you embody it, once it's embodied and you don't use the body, you still get the same force. The same pulse comes from the body as if you articulated it with the body.
Just because I've got it in.
Just because you've repeated it so many times,
So
you
if
know.
I just say I love you 1 minute, that's
beautiful.
Oh, that is okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
But look,
I unfortunately stop. I love you and stop there rather than keep the love circulating. I love you. Ooh, what a
That's
difference.
better, yeah,
what
that's
a
much
difference.
better, yeah.
What a difference. Well, you can say goodbye to Somerville.
Well, Somerville, thank you so very much for having us. We hope you got something out of the show. I know that we
I
certainly
did,
had a good
yes.
time bringing it to you.
Yes.
And the name is Q Unlimited. On the credits, you'll see it, Michael Coran. And we hope to come back and see you soon. Michael, would you have any finishing words?
Do we have time for finishing words? I mean, I hope if you got what I got from the show, we would be very, 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 very happy. Thank you so much, Q.
Well, thank you,
I was
Michael.
going to say love. It'll sound funny, but
Some way of saying it with my body too.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Just a smile on your
Wow.
face and the expression on your body is good enough for me. Bye, Somerville.
Oh, we're still wrapping it up.
So let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Shall we wrap it up with a dance?
Yes.
All right, let's begin our little dance
Yes.
here. And moving forward.
1,